Chris, what's going on, my man? Good to see you.
My guy, what's going down, bro?
We're just hanging out at home. We just living the life.
Yeah, bro. Hey, man, I'm knocking stuff out left and right from the
Bro, you have
crib.
the Philly hat on. I'm trying to stay cool with my leather jacket, but you have that Philly hat just
You know what
looking
I'm
really
saying?
good.
It's always I love hats. One, because I can't get a haircut. Two, I just love hats, and so hey, we there.
So good. Well, for those who are watching who maybe aren't familiar with what you do and where you're in Tulsa at Transformation Church, one of the greatest churches in the country. You get to serve under Pastor Mike and Natalie and amazing pastors. And we had the chance to meet a few months back. And you are kind of over social digital strategy. You've been doing this for a while now. And I'm excited to talk to you because for a lot of people we've talked to, they're kind of resting, they're slowing down, they're working from home. And in the social and digital world, you're like, all right, we're just speeding up.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
what is kind of the situation where you're at with Tulsa and then with
Yeah.
transformation, your kind of job, your role? Just give us a lowdown of what you've been up to here.
Yeah, bro. Man, it's been a weird time. Obviously, we're in a weird time in our world, like not even just country, world, where everything is just kind of just put slowed down. Um, and at the same time, we were just talking about this, like the eye of really the church, uh, of the world is really on the church. And for us, it's not, it's something we've already been doing. Like our hope that as the church, not the Transformation Church, is to bring hope, bring light from of the gospel to the world. And we get the opportunity now to do it on a better and grand and bigger stand because everybody is needing this hope. Anxiety is like high, fear is running rapid because all you see on the news sites is like uh, all these bad reports, everything. And so everybody's fear is just running. And so this is where everybody, whether you're a believer, whether you're not, is looking for a place to find peace, looking for a place to find wisdom, looking for a place to find direction. And here goes the church. Oh, it's our turn. Let's go. Let's give them Jesus. And so we've been saying something at our church, saying we're built for this. The church is built for this, not just Transformation Church, but the church of Jesus Christ is built for this. It's funny because this is how the church was built. People being at home, small groups, talking about the gospel, the truth, being in their small groups with you got two people at the crib, five people, whatever it is, you in your small setting, you and your cousins, you and your wherever you're at. Like this is where actually the church was built. And so this is why we say we're built for this. We don't need a big building. We don't need lights, camera, action to really represent. And this is what our vision is, to represent God to the lost and found for transformation in Christ. We don't need all that. We'll use that and to reach more people. But all we need is the truth of Jesus. From there is peace. From there is joy. From there is direction. From there is wisdom and love. And man, because of that, we ramping up. We hope Dylan every day. We
Come
give him
on.
peace every day because it's not from us, but it's from the one we get it from. And so it's been fun.
Man, you're preaching already. So good. I think God's funny with his timing too. Obviously,
Yeah,
you just move into this new building and you
yeah,
have this excitement around the space and the people, and then it's like nobody's allowed to show up, you know?
yeah,
What
man.
obviously you've been doing this digital thing for a while, but maybe what are some of the ways that you're seeing, like, I think for a lot of people in the church, we have the pastor who preaches on the weekend and maybe someone who oversees groups and different things. But I think
Yeah,
all of a sudden people are starting to realize that the church is much more than just the person who's on the stage. And
yeah,
not that other people were, not recognized before, but I think
right,
even for this generation upcoming saying, okay, I can use things like digital strategy, like people who
yeah,
make great songs or great beats or different things where it's like, hey,
yeah.
I could use that for the church. I can use it in different ways. Have you been starting to see people, I mean, obviously over the last, few months, years as you have been doing this, but even in this time saying, hey, how can I use my talents and gifts, maybe a way that I never thought before to advance the church?
We just started a series called Who's the Minister Here? And it's been funny because we've been trying to do this series for the past 2 to 3 years. And it's just never worked out. And the start of the week of this brand new series that we're starting, all this stuff happen. And the foundation of the series is about, we put so much emphasis on the person on the platform, on the stage, as they are the minister, when all actuality, their job is to equip the ministers to go do the work.
Yeah.
And so I think it's been fun. We just started week 1. And I think it's been special to see our church and just people in the body. I think that's why we are doing the series, to really understand and realize that as you are at home, as the mom, as the nurse, wherever you're at, like, you are equipped to be the ministers of the gospel. And I think we have to get outside of this perspective that only the person who gives the sermon, only the person who leads in this perspective is the person that has the voice of God or hears from God. In all actuality, like, every one of us, each and every one of people that are listening right now are ministers of the gospel. And once we really understand that and learn that God has put his hand on our life to minister the gospel to the world, like, we can really be effective and reach the influence that God has given us. I tell my students all the time, I think a lot of the reason why people don't step into calling is because we compare the influence that we have with somebody else's. And I told one of my friends that I know, he's a barber, and he doesn't really have a lot of influence, but I told him, like, you have a nephew, right? You have a son, you have your nephew's friends. That is your influence. It don't have to be 35,000 followers on Instagram. It don't have to be 33,000. But the influence is the people that God has put around you, that you have a voice to, that you have what I like to call the sit up and shut down card, like, whatever it is. Like, you have the space to be in somebody's life. That is your influence. Until this is the moment where we really understand and be grateful for the influence God has given us, and really allow God to use us in a way to minister his truth to people, no matter what platform, no matter what setting, but just the influence that God has placed us in, and really be the ministers that God has allowed us to be, man.
That's so good. That's so good. One of the things right now that I think is interesting is you have people that are really been being kind of negative on both sides of things. I think you have
Yeah,
some people who are like, hey, everyone's going to die. If you don't stay inside, I'm going to yell at you. And if you don't
right.
6 feet away from me, like, you're the devil. But then you got
Yeah,
other people who are like, well, you can't shut things down because the economy. And, like, I feel like everyone in America is kind of somewhere in the middle, like, trying to
yeah,
figure out where we're at. One of the things
yeah,
I love about transformation, and anytime I'm, watching you guys on social media or hanging out with you guys, you're just so positive. And I feel like I have, like, just by watching, even just in this call, like, my spirits are lifted. What do you feel like is that culture? Is it just Pastor Mike and Natalie? It comes down from them. Is it something that your staff does, or your
yeah,
church does, that keeps that positivity? But that's just something I've observed, and I think a lot of people see from you guys.
yeah, man. It really does come from leadership. We have 12 culture codes. It's just different things that we live and balance our church off of, from relationships to fun to worship. But one of them is faith. We have faith in God, we have faith in people, and we have faith for miracles. That's the tagline. So that is how we live our life. It's not the church's culture code. It's just like, it's not the organism. It's the organism's culture code. It's everybody who attach our lives to the church. We choose not to just believe the God of the Bible. And we believe the God of that he does the same miracles in the Bible that he can do today. And because of that, we have faith. We have believe it. We have our, not that even we see stuff and not have worries because it's real, but we believe that we have to have faith over fear. And because of it, we're going to believe God, even this situation specifically. We're not going to allow our anxiety to run higher than our faith. We're going to see faith. We're going to see God. And because of it, we're going to have the joy of Christ. And no, it's, the thing is, like, people ask me all the time, like, bro, how you still got joy? How you going to blah, blah, blah? Like, I don't know the outcome. I don't know, but I just have to choose faith. And the thing is, one thing Judah Smith said this other night, faith isn't the opposite of wisdom. Like, people, we're in this, like you said, we're in this like
So
balance
good.
of people don't touch me, whatever it is. Like, I'm gonna have faith. Like, I'm gonna believe God for a miracle, but I'm gonna wash my hands as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
you know,
that's the quote right there.
You know what I'm saying? We should already be washing our hands. Like,
Like,
that's
you
not something we
nasty. Come on, why are you
that's
not
not
washing
something
your hands?
that's not something we just start doing out here.
Yeah.
Like, just if it is, God bless you. But you know what I'm saying? But really, like, they're not opposites. We gotta have both.
Yeah, that's so good, man. Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad that we got the chance to talk, even though it was
Hey,
a
bro, we gotta do
short
this
bit.
again.
But I know, come on, you have to come up to Minnesota, just maybe not when it's cold.
Bro, yeah, don't no, I don't like that.
Yeah,
No, sir.
so good, so good. Well,
My
thanks
God.
for sharing with us, and all of our young adults. I know they're going to be touched by it.
I appreciate you, bro.